S'avance.
Curfew tees it up. Scores! He's in. He scores! Oh my! Belmanoff!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a live post-game show of the Curfew Boys. Myself, Sammy, with my cousin Chris.
Hey now.
It's the Curfew Boys coming to you live on YouTube and Twitter, also known as X. For those of you tuning in, thank you so much, and welcome to the show. We'll try to make it fun, even though we lost. Yeah, we're gonna have fun like we always do. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like what you see, what you hear, please click like and subscribe. It is absolutely free. Share this with your fellow Montreal Canadiens fans and friends near and far. Our episodes are available on audio platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, any podcast platform. You could follow us, the Curfew Boys, on on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, also known as X. Oh boy. Yeah, this sucks. This sucks because I thought we had this one. I was feeling good about this one, Chris. I was really feeling good about this game.
Yeah, but you have to remind yourself it's the Sharks. We struggle against them. This team, I don't know what. And if these are going to be our competitors going forward for the years to come, them and Anaheim, God help us. I wanna make sure that we're facing off against Anaheim. Maybe I'll eat my words tomorrow, but who knows?
Are you foreshadowing potential Stanley Cup finalists, the Canadiens versus either
100%.
the Sharks or the Ducks?
100%. Oh yeah, absolutely. Question of time.
Oh my God! You know what? It could be a reality. I mean, listen. Before we get into everything, I love how the Sharks and the Ducks are have been rebuilding for these past couple of seasons. So it's gonna be interesting to see. They're gonna be an exciting team. Like, I don't normally agree with whatever Gary Gallagher says on Sportsnet, but he said two teams that are exciting to watch and they're gonna be dangerous for seasons to come. And you know what? In all honesty, for the first time in a long time, I couldn't agree with you more. But look, folks, before we get into tonight's topics, we're just going to take a brief moment to thank you, our current sponsors for this episode. We're going to start with my boy Mike from RDP, Mike's Barbecue Rub. He's a Canadian company that has his own barbecue spices and rubs, sauces, and his kettle cooked chips. His products are all proudly made and packaged in Canada. It could be used for anything that can be thrown on the grill: your meats, your fish, your vegetables, your chicken, anything that can be thrown on the grill. You definitely need to try Mike's Barbecue Rub. He uses those same spices to season his kettle cooked chips, which are absolutely amazing. So give my boy Mike some love and a follow on social media, Instagram and TikTok. For more information on his products, visit mikesbarbecuerub.com. He ships anywhere and everywhere in Canada. Probably not going to happen tonight, folks, but never forget to rub your meat. This episode is also sponsored by Les Délices Lafrenière. For all of our paisanos out there, our Italian paisanos, even if you're not Italian, you need to try Les Délices Lafreniere's famous Zeppolis during the month of March for the famous San Giuseppe holiday. But they got great products, their cakes, their cannolis, some of the best in the Montreal area. A total of 6 goals tonight, so one for every location they have: Rosemere, Brossard, Saint-Julie, Montreal West, Pointe-Claire, and our hometown of St. Leonard. Visit lesdeliceslafreniere.com. They are simply delicious, simplement délicieux. And last but not least, Habs Cave. Our boy Sunil, who was at the game tonight, as always, brings you amazing content when he goes to these games, whether it's at home at the Bell Center or on the road. Absolutely fantastic content, but he literally has a Habs fan's dream of having a man cave like the Habs Cave. Great content regarding the Montreal Canadiens memorabilia that he has in his basement from top to bottom, but he's a great human being, a great member of the Montreal Canadiens community. Give our boy Sunil some love. Habs Cave on Instagram and TikTok. All right, Chris. The Canadiens fall to the San Jose Sharks by a final score of 4-2. Macklin Celebrini doing what he does, and that's play hockey like a freaking champ at just the age of 19, 20 years old. Yeah, man. It's gonna start with our boy Rob. Rough game tonight, plain and simple. Rough game.
Yeah.
You know what it was? You know what it was? It's not due to a lack of effort. I think the effort was there, but it looked like the effort was in the wrong places, if that makes sense, or just they looked so unsure of themselves. Like it looked
I
like they didn't know what to do with the puck a few times in the zone, in the offensive zone at least.
I would maybe change up the wording and go Michel Terrien style. They were
Oh
so soft.
fuck!
I never see them play soft like this. It was it was just like, look, Carrier defending in front of the net, weak.
On the third, on
That was
the
weak.
second goal was the second goal or the third
Yeah, just
goal.
like the trickle in
Yeah.
goal. Then don't get me wrong, there was a little puck luck for there was a little puck luck for both teams, but like the Ferraro goal, that was a floater that managed to find its
Hmm.
way in. That one was the
Yeah.
deflection right in front of the net that trickled into the net. Like,
Yeah.
look, we truly lost. I know it was 4-2, but we truly lost 3-2, if you will, with goal scored on the goalie. And long story short, it's just it wasn't certain hockey. It was a little bit loose. The Canadians didn't have the pace. They really let San Jose come into their respective building and just take charge of a significant portion of that game. And then, like, how many times have we said it? If you're not going to play 60 minutes, don't expect to win. Especially if the other team is dialed in and focused. You can have, like, look, when Nick Suzuki scored the goal
Hmm.
to make it 3-2 at the end of the second period. That was the
Yeah.
Montreal like, finally, the Montreal Canadiens has brought a little life back into their game, and lo and behold, they scored. Um, look, that's just the way that it falls. Sometimes you can't win them all. It's tiring to lose against the San Jose Sharks. Like, I don't know, just not telling people not to show up to the games and to abandon their tickets. Maybe that's just my strategy to get cheaper prices, but it's pretty much you show up to watch a game against the San Jose Sharks, and there's like a 75, 80, even 90% chance that they're going to be losing. So I don't know what to tell you. Can't win them all. They have to move on very quickly from this one. I
Yeah. They have
On
to.
the overall, I just I didn't like it. There were moments that I liked, but on the overall, I didn't like it. And as much as I'm wearing my Ivan Demigod shirt underneath all of this, Ivan didn't have the best game. He got hit pretty hard. I'm not saying that Jaden Struble had to fight, but I didn't like I didn't I didn't like a lot of elements, a lot of little things that accumulate to lapses in the game, and I would say lapses that explain a loss at the end of the day.
I didn't like how certain they it shows there was lack of focus with the decision making in the with the puck in the offensive zone. Like I thought defensively they were okay. I didn't like that third goal. I didn't like how Carrier was just I guess it was it Ferraro who was stuck in front of the net? Yeah, it was Mario Ferraro. Like again, Carrier not being a big guy, but man, get him away from your goalie, get him away from the front of your goalie. He was just he was just standing there next to him. It's not like he wasn't covering him, but fuck, man, get him out of the way, get him out of there. Like you know what I mean? And I didn't like it one bit. And this goes back to I'm really not trying to target Carrier, but just on the overall, this is why we need big defensemen, and especially on the with right handed defensemen. We need big guys, and yes, everyone's saying bring up David Reinbacher for sure, but he's not here right now, and you know we got to settle this problem. Two goals like that looked very similar to the goals that Anaheim scored last week against Sam Montembeault. They looked very similar, and it doesn't mean it's Dobesh's fault. And I don't want to compare the two scenarios, and I don't want to compare the two goalies. But god damn it, once again tonight was a bit of that problem where get the guys away from the crease, get them out of there. I didn't like that play. I thought Newhook was one of the players tonight that was engaged, but he just couldn't seem to get the bounces his way a little bit. He didn't get that much puck luck. Rings a shot off the post or off the crossbar. Kapanen got a shot off the crossbar too. Power play tonight, 0 for 3, and the first power play, they did not look sharp tonight. I know Nick Suzuki got a goal, and that's he's got a shot when he uses it, and when he's coming in with speed in the zone like that, he could rip it. But I thought Nick Suzuki on the overall tonight, little mental errors, didn't was trying to make passes that didn't exist. There was no play there. Slavkovsky too, a few times tried to make passes that just, and he has a little bit more of that bad habit. He's gotten better, and we're talking about tonight's game specifically, not talking about bigger picture on the overall of the season, how these guys have been playing. Talking specifically tonight, I just did not like how they made certain decisions or lack of smart decisions with the puck. There was one play in the third period. Jake Evans had a clear shooting lane, held on it too long, started skating towards the blue line, then decides to shoot. It gets blocked by the man that's covering him. Little plays like that. That was the story of the game tonight, I found.
Yeah, I I really want to add something because again, Nick Suzuki carries the team on the back on
Mm-hmm.
his respective back most
Of
nights.
course, of course.
He's allowed to have a so-so night, but there's one thing that really has to ramp up from now to the playoffs and throughout the playoffs. This is my take, but like again, since going to the Olympics, Slav has like really dialed down the physical plays and or the physical play and hitting. I
Mm-hmm.
find not that he was ever like a big time hitter, but there are like at least 5 to 7 times in the past games and in each respective game where like he has the chance to really finish a check and really like
Yeah,
make a statement. And man, the both teams were throwing the body tonight.
yeah.
Slav, you're a great player and you're turning into an absolute force to be reckoned with. Finish your hits, man.
Yeah.
Somebody please tell him to
Se-
finish his hits. He could be such a devastating player to play against.
second most ice time amongst the forwards with 21 minutes and 28 seconds, just behind Nick Suzuki at 22 minutes and 1 second. No, I agree. I thought tonight him too maybe was overthinking much, maybe a bit soft. And again, like you said, we're specifically sticking with tonight. At one point, I thought Josh Anderson looked like he was in playoff mode, and then
Yeah.
after he got the
Oh,
shot, like
Sammy.
on the knee, like I think like you barely noticed him after that, and it's understandable. I actually thought Kirby Dog had a decent game.
Yeah, yeah, I really like
Like,
this play. I like the skating. He's playing solid on the puck. He's
yeah,
defending the puck. He's defending the puck and shielding the puck. That's the word that I'm looking for.
yes,
Shielding the puck
we
very, very
mentioned this
well and
earlier
creating all sorts
today.
of space. Y
We mentioned this
well,
earlier today,
thanks.
and
Well, thanks, Kirby, because he just made us look good simply by following through with more of the good stuff.
oh, I thought he created some chances. Like I thought him, Newhook, and you know what? I got to give credit to Texier a little bit too, and I know him being at a minus, like base him and Dano and Anderson did not have a good night on the scoreboard. Texier -2, Dano -3, Josh Anderson -2. Dano winning a 54.5% of the faceoffs. They were good on the faceoffs tonight, though. The Canadians, they really were 60.7% winning of their faceoffs. You know where tonight really hurt them? The power play.
Yeah.
I thought tonight's
Don't
power
get me
play. Yeah.
don't get me wrong. There's something that's worth mentioning. Lane Hudson scored a goal. Lane Hudson did score a goal.
Yeah, man, that was rough. That was I look. Listen, I'm trying to look at the referee's perspective. I really am. but you can't blame Lane Hudson for being pissed about that. First of all, because that goal would have made him beat the record for most points by defensemen in under 150 games, I believe, or under or within his age group as well. I think that replay showed the ref the angle where he was, and Nedeljkovic looking like he froze the puck. I'm more than certain the ref didn't see the puck kind of escape him and go on his left side. But man, it's Anthony and I talk a lot about defining moments that can make or break the game in favor for you, and that was one of them. And idiot that I am, sitting on my couch, looking at that and being like, if we lose this game, not so much. It's because of that moment, but had that goal had been a good goal, it would have been a completely different game. Because I still think you would have had Cole Caulfield coming on the left side and sniping that goal for his career high in goals at 38, and then and there it would have been 2-0. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I and going back to the ref and his perspective, that's that's what I don't understand, at least from my side of things. If you don't have the optimal angle, like, why are you whistling so quickly? I thought that was a pretty quick whistle, and especially if you don't see it. Like, how many times, and I'm just playing devil's advocate,
Mm-hmm.
obviously in favor of the Montreal Canadiens,
Yeah.
but how many times does the whistle go or come in a little bit late and guys are scrumming and they're pushing and they're fighting? And I'll be honest, whether it be for or against the Montreal Canadiens, meaning for them, they're on the attack, or against them, they're in their own respective defensive zone.
Mm-hmm.
I I'll be honest, I rather favor just an honest and a fair whistle, let the guys battle it out, especially if you're not 100% certain that the puck has been covered. Like you said, it might have looked one way, but man, that was very, very quick, and that was a good goal. Like, that was open, that was evident, and again, it's just because the ref is standing out of position and he whistles that quickly, garbage. That's
Well,
absolute garbage.
I mean, I think the rules of the ref is like if you lose sight of the puck, you got to whistle. I think if memory serves me correctly, I think what pissed me off the most about that whole play was they had to go review it. For what though? What are you reviewing
Yeah.
for? If you clearly whistled before the puck went in, what are you reviewing? We're going. The call on the ice stands as a good goal. Does it? Like yes, in our minds and in our hearts, that's a good goal because puck was loose and Lane put it in fair and square, no goalie interference, nothing. But at the end of the day, he whistled and then the puck went in. Like it should have been waved off, and I have no idea why they went and go to video review. If it was just to make sure that the whistle happened before the puck went in, fine, do that. What are you doing calling it? Like, it was just so confusing. What do you do calling it? The call on the ice stands. We have a good goal, but we're going review. What are you talking about then? That
Yeah.
part to me was so confusing. And as much as yes, I knew it was a good goal because puck was loose. The ref blew the whistle too early. I knew it wasn't going to count because he whistled before the puck went in. So what are you doing going in review? That part to me, I could not understand for the life of me, man. And
Well,
like that part was frustrating. And then in a sense, thank God they did a coach's challenge for the offside goal on the power play, which came in like 38 seconds later. Like that's one rule, and listen, it worked in our favor at that moment. But again, this whole coach's challenge of offside on a power play more than 30 seconds later after an offside happened, they got to figure that shit out. We keep bringing it up. We keep bringing it up over and over again. These coaches challenges for offside almost a minute later. I don't know. Something's got to be done. That and the goalie interference calls, man. Like not like it happened tonight, but they were showing plays around the league about goalie interference calls that weren't counted, and then the same play happens in another game and it counts. Like it's too inconsistent. It's too inconsistent. I like
Most
this one.
frustrating. Well, I think the ref had one or two
One or two
Zeppelins.
Zeppelins.
That's why he
That's
was
why he was.
confused. Yeah,
That's
this
hilarious.
is a
That's
fair
so
bet,
funny.
Roberto. Well, you want to talk about like reffing, and I'm gonna say something because it was I I think everybody will know where I'm going with this as soon as I mention. Very ugly sight. Igor Chernyshov.
Mm,
I'm not sure if I'm
yeah,
pronouncing this correctly.
yeah.
It was not a elbow headshot by Mike Matheson,
No,
but that I will say could have easily been a hold or an interference because he slowed down the poor player. He didn't have time to get his arm out from his side and protect his head, and he lands on the side of his face. He tries to
yeah.
stand up 2 times. That was horrendous to see. I hope the kid is okay. I wish him a speedy recovery. It looked like a concussion. He looked completely
Oh,
knocked
for
out for a
sure.
second
Oh,
there.
for sure. For sure.
But 2 things there just to say. One, as a non-biased Habs fan in this moment, at least, um, that's a penalty. That is an interference. That is, again, that is not a predatory
Mm,
hit. Let's be perfectly
no, no,
clear.
no,
But he
no. There's
slows him
nothing
down
malicious.
enough. Well, that's the thing. He slows him down enough that he knocks him off balance, and unfortunately, the fall is absolutely horrifying, and
Yeah,
the consequences thereafter are even worse. And all this to say, yeah, that's not a predatory hit. It should have been called a penalty, in my humble opinion, and we wish the kid a speedy recovery. I'll leave it
yeah. I
at that.
thought.
I don't know if you have any
Yeah.
take on that.
No, I thought it was just an unlucky play for the kid. Obviously, I don't think Mike Matheson was aiming for him. I think he was just trying to cover his guy, and guys skate fast. The games go fast. You hook each other up accidentally, and yeah, he couldn't recover he couldn't have an arm to break his fall in time. It sucks. It's awful. Obviously, the Canadiens posted a tweet saying our thoughts are with the kid. So that's a class move. Yeah, no, that just was it was just an unfortunate play. Um, maybe at some kind of level that maybe set the tone on not how the game was going to go, but how reffing was going to go in a sense. Could that be? Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, no, like you said, Chris, speedy recovery to the kid. Hopefully he's okay. If he's, I don't know. I'm trying to tech. Yeah, I'm trying to check Twitter to see if there's any update on him.
I know I'm
So far,
checking Twitter as well, and it seems as though Sharks fans are very
yeah,
enlightened about the game of
yeah,
hockey.
yeah, yeah.
Jesus.
There's one guy. I won't even mention his name, but he's a San Jose podcaster. He tagged NHL player safety to look into this. It's like, stop it. Stop it. You know what? Look into this. Like, no. Like, look into the Racco Gudas hit on Austin Matthews. Yeah. Yeah. You want to be mad about that? 5-game suspension only. Austin Matthews out for the rest of the season. Whether a hockey fan, you're a Leafs fan, like there's even Ducks fans that are like Gudas has to go. Don't know why he's a captain. Blah 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 blah. But what Mike Matheson did was it was an innocent play.
Yeah.
There was no malintent. It
Let's
happens. It happens. Shit like that happens.
Do you wanna know a fun stat? I don't
Mm-hmm.
have the exact number in front of me anymore, but I think it's give or take $20,000 short
Mm-hmm.
of $1,000,000 lost by Radko Gudas in suspensions since the beginning of his career, meaning he's $980,000
Jesus.
lost in salary because of suspensions that
Jesus.
he's faced. Just to give you an indication as to what Radko Gudas is all about.
Yeah.
And on that note too, I would just say Mike Matheson is the type of player who's probably going to get into his car and go to the hospital and check on the kid.
Oh,
Like
he's for sure gonna reach
he's
out and see if he's okay and all that. Of course, one
that's
million
it.
percent, 1,000,000
It's
percent.
just like calmez-vous for those in San Jose who don't understand what that means. Is calm down. Like it was a freak accident, and we're all here holding our breath for the kid. But like, God damn, it was it was not a headshot. For the
No,
love of
not
God, it
even
was a
close.
hold. It was a
No,
hold. I said interference,
no.
but at the closest would have been a hold.
They were tied up
That's
together, and
that's
the kid lost his footing. Like it happens to the best of my memory. Looking at the replay of it, I don't have it in front of me, but they were tied up and he fell. Like it happens in hockey. Just like you said, the arm was tied up. He couldn't get it in time to break his fall. There's not much more to say except like everybody hopes he's okay. It looks like he is for now. I'm trying to check for updates like we speak as we speak, but yeah, hope he's okay. I'm happy Rako Gudas is not
playing
playing
tomorrow.
for the Ducks on Sunday night.
Yeah,
Really
we'll just
happy, and
have to.
I think that's gonna maybe ease the mind off of some guys heading into the game tomorrow.
Well, the big thing in Anaheim, not gonna lie, you also have Jacob Trouba, who that man for
He
me
he
looks
lays big hits.
for
He
well,
Yeah,
man, that guy
but
looks to again, 2 guys that hit to hurt, in my opinion. I don't mind
yeah, but
hit for separating.
but it's hockey, man. Like you, like say what you want about Truba. Majority of the time is maybe except for the hits that like was really like an NHL
Yeah.
2002 type of hit when he was with the Rangers. He hits hard, man, and his hits are clean, but they're fucking hard. And sorry, that's hockey. I listen. This is coming from a Scott Stevens fan, and I don't care if people are going to try to cancel me after hearing this. During a time when the types of hits Scott Stevens delivered were legal, fuck, that's hockey. It's what it is. It's a contact sport. Your goal is to knock the guy down on his ass away from the puck.
So, I'm of a different school of thought, and maybe
Mm-hmm.
it's not a huge difference because I like hockey fights, I like
Mm-hmm.
hard hits,
Mm-hmm.
I like the physicality of the sport, don't get me wrong. What I would say, and, like, maybe this is just wording,
Mm-hmm.
but I like a guy who will hit hard, like, I'm gonna give an example of a player that we played against tonight. I
Mm-hmm.
thought Mario Ferrero was
Mm-hmm.
an absolute beast, like, I found
Mm-hmm.
him to be hard-hitting, gritty,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
eh, the kinda guy who's gonna give it his all, and I'm just like, "Wow," like, I actually really appreciate this guy's play,
Yeah.
as a prospective hockey fan. I
Right.
look at guys like, I'm gonna look at any one of our guys, I'll
Josh
take
Anderson
Arbor. I think Arbor's
or
Arbor or Josh Anderson, they're gonna be our hardest hitters. I think actually Anderson is an even better parallel to Sammy. Thank you for that. Let's take Tom Wilson and let's
Mm-hmm.
take Josh Anderson. And obviously I have Radko Gudas in the back of my mind.
Right.
Josh Anderson, like when I say the wording, it's truly the wording that makes the difference in terms of what I'm trying to describe here because Josh Anderson will hit as hard as he can to
Yeah.
separate the guy and to make the play. When I look at a guy like Radko Gudas, when I look at a guy like Jacob Trouba, when I look at a guy, you know, of that sort, of or like Tom Wilson, I find those guys they hit not to simply separate, but I want to hurt the guy, and that's where I say like you want to hit the guy to hurt. You're going to be reckless. You're going to be throwing everything you got into that hit, and alignment, point of contact,
Mm-hmm.
and outcome become secondary, and at that point in my books become dangerous. So a guy that wants to hit hard, but hit hard responsibly and is aligning the hit, no problem. I just don't like reckless hitters because you got great players who end up missing
I
time and
get what you're saying. I really do, but the reckless hitting, I agree, and we're all against it. But sorry to say, Nicholas Kronwall, he hit to hurt you and to separate the puck, and he lined them up clean, and he took guys out and sent them to the next stratosphere. Jacob Trouba does more or less the same thing. Racco Gudas does not. Say what you want about Tom Wilson. Most of his hits. The biggest one I can think of was the Olympics when he hit. Who did he hit?
Larkin,
the defenseman.
Larkin.
Was it Dylan? Yes,
he hit
Dylan Larkin. He hit him to hurt him. It was a clean hit. I don't even know how Dylan Larkin got up. Maybe that's why he's injured now. Now Dylan Larkin is out for a week or two. I don't know how he survived that hit. That was a clean hit. You know what it comes down to, Chris? And it's something that unfortunately we don't have that much, except for maybe Arbor Jacki. That's intimidation. That's intimidation. It fucks up with the other team's psyche. And sometimes you need that to get them afraid. You get them afraid, you have the upper hand. Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson. Here's fighter. He scared the living shit. He scared the living shit out of his opponents. He scared the living shit. And I get exactly. And I get I'm comparing two different sports, but man, in the intimidation game plays a huge factor in sports. If you're intimidated, if you can throw a small ounce of doubt in your opposition when they're on the ice, man. And this is coming from guys who play the game. This is coming from Steve Bégin. This is coming from Max Lapierre. This is coming from Scott Gomez. Scott Gomez, who played with Scott Stevens, who won the cup with him, by the way. It's I get the concern. I get we're in a different era of hockey and a different era, ways of thinking within society. And I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. But at the end of the day, hockey is hockey. And you know what? It's like call me old school or call me crazy or something. But I'm sorry. I like that old school clean hits, headshots. Listen, Scott Stevens was he was a guy that did it. It was a time where it was legal, and it was a time where we didn't know any better. Okay, nobody knew the significant damages of concussions and all that. So I'm sorry, you cannot be upset at how a guy played in an era where we didn't know and it was considered legal. Okay, so all that to say is right now, this modern day, headshots they need to be away from the game. You don't even have to convince me otherwise. But if your shoulder's lined up with the guy and he's coming down, head down, he doesn't see you. And Trouba does this a lot. He times his hits perfectly. He's a big guy. He plays hard. If it's clean, you gotta respect it. That's my point of view.
There's a comment that just came through from
yes,
Naheed.
yes, yes. We've been saying this.
I need to address this. I need to absolutely address this.
Good. Good day, boys. Good day, boys. Man, can we teach someone to clear the front of the net? Marty got to let the boys take penalties clearing the net.
Amen.
Effing right.
So,
damn.
So for again, this is just me. I don't know what it's gonna take for. Look, we had an episode earlier today released on YouTube. We had the whole discussion. We had the whole discussion about Brendan Gallagher getting scratched.
Yeah, we're gonna get into tonight again.
Post
game.
Rightfully so. But we're talking about Marty making hard decisions, and I don't know what it is. Now, Sam, this doesn't belong to you. Doesn't necessarily belong to the rest of the Curfew Boys. I'm going to take full responsibility. If people don't agree, come at me, bro. What I'm going to say is, I do not know what Arbor Jacki has to do to stay in the lineup. That man has been playing more responsible. He outright stopped dropping the gloves because I think that was proving to be way too problematic for Marty. He he hasn't been getting penalized as much. Even if he gets a penalty a game, so be it. Exactly the comment that we just addressed. If you're going to be asked to play somewhat of a physical game, it's natural that you might draw a penalty here and there, or even once a game for that matter. I just do not know what Arbor Jackeye has to do that he's not doing already to stay in the lineup. And no offense to Jaden Struble, but there was a period of time where Arbor Jackeye was just like leading up to the Olympic break. He was playing well and better and better and better, carrying the puck, making smart clearing moves, not trying to go for the long passes that he was failing with. Like everything was starting to come together. He was even sometimes carrying it into the offensive zone, dragging the whole play up with him, tagging, like carrying a few guys on his back and holding them off. I just don't know. And this, like I said, I don't want to open up this can of worms again, but that is a fucking hard decision that Marty's going to have to stand by at a certain point in time, because nobody does it as well as Arbor Jackeye. It's a clear need on the back end on defense, at least until Carrier is replaced by a guy like Ryan Backer, who's bigger, stronger, meaner. So if we don't have that, especially until we do not have that, I don't understand why Jacka is not there. And I'm not just going to shit on Struble. I need to go a next step. If I look at tonight's game, Carrier defending like a teddy bear in front of the net and allowing the San Jose player to get that position and for the puck to deflect off the San Jose player to go into the net. When is Alexandre Carrier going to miss a game? I genuinely do think that Arbor and Struble should have the right to fucking play. It shouldn't be one or the other. I was just about
to say that. I totally agree with you on Carrier, because I thought tonight, you know, I don't want to make it sound like he's a whipping boy, but as these games are becoming a lot more intense because there is a playoff spot on the line somewhat, games are going to be a lot, and against teams that them too are fighting for a spot. San Jose, Anaheim, we're facing Boston and then Detroit next week. So games are going to get a lot more intense. As those games get more intense, I just feel like, unfortunately, Carrier's game is dipping. I know Struble and Jackeye are both left-handed shooters. I think you're going to have to give Carrier a night off and let him watch the game from above. A different angle, a different perspective, see what he can do, because it's and you know what it is? Carrier is a guy that's I like this comment. Carrier has to find that dog in him. He's got to get angry more. I couldn't agree more, 1,000%. I just don't know if it's in his DNA. I don't think he has the size to back that statement up or to find that dog in his game, but it's a good comment nonetheless. I want to see Jacka and Struble play together, not play together, but I want to see them in the lineup, whether they play together or not. And do you put Struble on the right side? It's going to be very difficult for him. I don't think he's ever played on the right side. He was always paired for a good majority with Jordan Harris, for a left-handed defenseman, was able to play on the right side. That's not happening anymore, obviously. Carrier, he's got, I'm willing to say he's got the heart like Gallagher on defense. He's one of the guys that has the heart. He does care, absolutely. It's just right now, it's so. Here's what I'm going to say about Ketty. You know how they say if you didn't notice a defenseman, especially a defensive defenseman, if you didn't notice him, it's because he played a good game. This is the opposite of Alexandre Carrier right now. We're noticing him because ça marche pas, big. Ça marche pas.
He skates. Sometimes he skates up too far. He gets caught out of position.
Well, that's it. There was that one specific play where he pinched, and then Michael Misa and I forgot who else comes down on a 2-on-1 against Matheson, and Misa didn't miss by much. That's because Caddy pitched for I don't know why.
No.
You know what I mean? Like it's something like that. And I just want to come back real quick on Jacky and Chris. I think I love the guy more than you. I'm just saying like
Don't
I
you
have no
dare.
I know
Don't
that
you
I
dare.
know I'm challenging you on this, but I've been watching Jacky since junior. There's times, Chris, yes, simple game plays well, but then there's times he shoots himself in the foot with a stupid giveaway that shouldn't have even happened.
So
That's and I think it's plays like that that hurts him.
so Sam, and that's where I want to like have that
Hmm.
discussion, and that's where my
Hmm.
frustration resides.
Hmm.
Cartier can make
Yeah, I get
all
it.
these
I get
mistakes,
it.
and
Yeah.
Arbor Jacki is on pins and needles. I
Mm.
swear to God, I will lay my money down on the table today and say, beyond the shadow of a doubt, if they just said, play your game, man, make your mistakes. You're going to get the time, you're
But
going to get the minutes, you're going to play 15 minutes. I don't comprehend why they can't even
okay,
trust him enough to play him 15 minutes.
because Chris, they're not there anymore. They used to be there. When Marty first came, they used to be there. Go out there and play. That's why Jacky played a lot more. That's why any mistakes he made was tolerable in a sense. And how not that he made up for it, thinking I have to drop the gloves and fight, but fuck, he dropped the gloves, and we all go stir crazy, loving the guy, rightfully so. But as we're approaching this next stage in the rebuild and look and see progression from key pieces, I feel like he's trying to play catch up a little. A lot of guys are here and he's there.
But
I
but that's the thing.
and
He's
and
got to
listen,
stay
and
in the lineup to
well,
get there.
but true, 1,000%, and he's got to play more than 8 minutes, 8 minutes a game. But on the flip side of that, I just want to double check what was Strubal's ice time tonight. Okay, 11 minutes and 14 seconds. Caddier, 13 minutes and 55 seconds.
Yeah, it's not crazy. They're not crazy
No,
minutes.
no,
It's just like
I know, and I
if
trust
you
me,
look
I
at
hear you, and I
Arbor,
agree with you.
no, but just on another on another note,
Hmm.
do not look at Arbor Jacki. That man screams penalty kill potential. Penalty kill. He takes up a lot of space. He clears the front of the net. He can
Okay,
block shots. Like,
let me ask you
why
all
are
this.
they not developed? Why are they not
L-
developing
let
him for this
let
role?
me let me ask you all this. I get Marty is the head coach, so heavy is the crown as a head coach when it comes to lineup match. Not just yes, first off, he's got to put him in the lineup, but then he'll get the blame for ice time, especially amongst his defensemen. I think Marty maybe is letting Stefan Robida, or he lets Stefan Robida delegate maybe a bit too much of his defensemen. So I know Marty is the easy target to blame for the lack of ice time of Arbor when he is in the lineup. Could we not question Stefan Robida's trust in Arbor?
All the way. All the way. And I'm happy that you brought this to the table because I would love to know who's got the final say on who's getting sent out for the next shift and, whether or not there were discussions that happened before the game. Look, anytime
Hmm.
that X player comes on the ice, we want these guys to kind of match up.
Hmm.
But a part of me, Mart, look, Marty, no matter what, is truly, I think, what we needed culturally to get the best out of. He is perfect for this new generation.
Right.
I will say, like, I am willing to live with certain things. I mean, the same question. I'm willing to live with certain things because of what he brings in that regard. But then it begs the question, and it's a great question that you're asking, Sammy, because did Marty have the final say for goaltending? Did Marty have the final say as you're speaking for defensive matchups? Because if it's not him, yeah, maybe we're pointing the finger. You can say he's the head coach, he's got the final say. But if there's one thing that has been questionable all around, and that's why I think it's time to maybe shift that focus over a little bit more to Stéphane Robida, you can see just how much development has actually happened offensively with the Montreal Canadiens and how they have implemented that creative, um, unparalleled style, if you will, in the offensive zone when they're cycling it through. On the defensive side, how many times did the guys look lost? How many times did these guys try to play a system where you see Marty screaming at practice? You see, like, the guys are just not getting it. So maybe, like, what's going on with our defensive coach? I love that question, Sam. Thank you.
And listen, I to some degree I actually like Stefan Robida. I really, really do. Um, I'm questioning his. I really think. I don't know if Marty and management are going to look at the fact that they give up way too many goals for a team that scores a lot. They give up way too many. Now, and not to throw goaltending under the bus, but let's be honest, we haven't had the best of goaltending this season, despite Jakub Dobeš putting up many wins. That is true. But his goals against average and his save percentage is not the best. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. However, this year, it's if you look at the overall goaltending in the league, like besides the elites like fast, I didn't check stats, so don't fully quote me on this, but there's not many goaltenders out there that have a high .900 something save percentage in the league this year. Goal scoring, especially this year, has gone way up. So I could understand now how like maybe our goalie stats haven't been the best, aimed particularly at Sam Montembeault. And I don't mean to do it, but it's a fact. So the stats don't lie. But I question if management's going to think about contemplating the idea of potentially replacing Stefan Robida as the defensive coach. And I'm definitely not calling for Stefan Robida to get fired, to lose his job. I'm really not. Just looking at this year with, being if I could probably check the stats now while we're or Chris, or if you're able to on NHL.com, like for goals forward, like I said, I don't know if the stats included tonight, but the Canadiens are top 5. But for goals against, the Canadiens are at number 9 with 211. So what's the goals? What's the differential? I don't know if they could bring it up over here. But look, goals against per game played. They're allowing 3.25 goals against per game, and they're scoring 3.51 goals a game. Like it's a little too tight for me, at least. So I wonder if they're gonna question that. Who is a good fit to replace him, though? I'm wondering, or maybe getting another voice like Savard to help the defense with how to clear the front and block properly. I could see Savard being there to help on the development side, a little bit more like what Paul Byron is doing, or a little bit more like what Francis Bouillon is doing.
Yeah.
So okay, Francis Bouillon.
Oh, I don't know if do you think he really I don't think I think Bouillon's very comfortable where he's at, and I think he
It's
likes his
maybe,
position.
Yeah, maybe.
I just look. I
Bouillon
can't
was a
say it
guy.
enough.
Bouillon was a guy that had balls of steel for a guy that was only like 5'9" on defense. It was the size of a fridge.
Yeah,
Size of a
but he was like
fridge.
a stocky. He was he was just built like a horse, a short
Hmm.
horse, but he
A
was built
pony.
like yeah. Well,
What the
well, look, all
I
this
don't
to
know.
say,
What the
Sam, it's
fuck am
like
I saying?
we're screaming, we're all screaming from the mountaintop and going like, for the love of God, free Arbor Jacki
Yeah.
without
I want to
necessarily
see tomorrow.
penalizing Stru.
I
Like I
want to
want to
see that
see him
tomorrow.
tomorrow, but
And
like
yeah,
it's. I'll
I
be
think Cartier
honest
needs
with
to.
you.
Yeah.
But like I know training camp is completely different, and you're not facing off with the same level of talent. But I can tell you this much: I spent nearly 8 hours in the first days of training camp, and I got to see, and everybody was saying it, not just us. There were great analysts here in Montreal, like Eric Engels, who were saying the most noticeable guy here is Arbor Jacki. And I swear to God, it feels like they just came and clipped his goddamn wings. And like I said, he's not completely innocent. He has had stupid penalties. He has that. And I want to make this a talking point because I'd love to hear from the fans. My perspective as a non professional hockey coach, professional couch watching hockey fan,
You're a professional couch
I
coach.
abs- yeah, I'm
So am
armchair.
I.
I'm an armchair coach over here, but I I just don't understand what they're doing with Arbor Jacki. They have an absolute powerhouse on defense who can be a great penalty killer if they develop him properly. It's most of the time I feel as though they're playing with his mind, and I don't know why. I'm not singling out any other player on the team. It just feels this way. It feels this way
Hmm.
for Arbor Jacki. I don't like what they're doing, and I swear to God, I haven't said it once, I haven't said it twice. I've said it many more times, and I'll continue to say it. At trade deadline, I spent the whole day
Yeah.
sweating
Yeah.
that Arbor
Yeah.
Jacki was going to get traded because when that man, or if that, I'm not going to say when. Please, God, take that
Knock on
back.
wood.
Not when, but if he gets traded, I not only will I wish him nothing but the best, but he is going to turn into a Nikita Zadorov type player who's a better fighter,
Oof.
who's going to be a
Oof.
better skater, and he's going to fucking make the organization regret it. All because for some reason we couldn't give him enough time to flourish and develop here over a guy who's, like I said, who makes similar, if not worse, mistakes certain nights in Cartier. So why is one guy getting penalized? I'm sorry to
I
say,
think he
and when I
plays
say,
tomorrow. I think he.
of
I
course
think
he's
he.
going to play tomorrow,
I think he
but
plays
but
tomorrow.
but what I also want to add this, the big discussion of we've had this as our group offline.
Hmm.
Jaden Struble, I really respect him, and you can watch any of the behind the scenes videos. He's greatly loved by his teammates,
Yeah.
absolutely. But we have the biggest factor why I'm wondering why the fuck we're screwing around with Arbor Jacki as much as we are. We have an absolute unicorn forward who's going to be a key role player on the fourth line. His name is Florian Jacki. Now,
Hmm.
call me crazy, call it say it's stupid, say it doesn't matter. There are brothers who are playing in a whole bunch of different regions. You've just seen the Felino brothers align with one another.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you see how happy they are to
Yeah.
play together?
Nick
It's
is very happy. Nick
and
Foligno
no
is
offense,
very happy.
and no like no offense to Arbor, because I do actually like Arbor. Naturally, he's played more with the Canadiens. I do prefer Arbor over Florian, but I do think Florian's going to have a more significant impact. And the key importance that I hope management and even the coaching staff understands, Arbor's presence when his brother really starts emerging and breaking out in this league, whether it be a third liner, fourth liner, I don't care. Florian Jacki is going to have a very important role to play with the Montreal Canadiens, and having Arbor Jacki around and in the lineup regularly is only going to make him better mentally, emotionally, all around. So for the love of God, that's why I say I love Jaden Struble. He's important to the team, but I do think they're similar. I do think Arbor's bigger and
Mhm.
stronger and
Yeah.
and fills that intimidation role that we need more so than Jaden Struble. So it's a no-brainer for me, and that's where my frustration comes. And we'll switch to Gallagher after this before
Yeah,
it
no
it
problem.
all goes to Arbor focus. But I think a lot of the fans feel the same way, that we're completely lost in terms of understanding why they can't invest more time in him, why they can't give him a little bit more confidence and let him make those mistakes, even if Sam, even if he's got to be a little bit better and the team is taking that next step. Well, just stopping this whole procedure of you get one game, you're sitting one game. You get one game, you're out of the lineup one game. Just getting rid of that shit scenario alone is going to be a huge help to him. And I think Arbor Jacki has to be their game one of the playoffs. And if that's going to be the case,
Hmm.
stop this. Stop this fucking flip flopping bullshit. He needs to be in the lineup. That's the end. Now talking about players coming out of the lineup, I'm going to let you take it away. I'm going to catch my breath here a second because
Well,
I
I'm gonna
it's
ask
beyond me.
anybody out there, viewers and listeners, if you know someone who could send Chris a blood pressure checking machine, because the fucking kid needs it right now. I call him kid, but he's not a kid. But anyways,
Big kid.
yeah, because you're my younger cousin. So no, Chris, I get it, and I actually I share the same thoughts and feelings, and to some point frustrations with you. I just want I want the
Yes, sir. Okay, there we go.
oh my god.
The fans are looking out for us. There you go,
I like
Sam.
this too.
What a
Also, the
privilege.
rotating parents needs to end. No one can get comfortable with each other. Um, in a sense, yeah, but then you got to give the top four defensemen the minutes. You really, really do, and you kind of see that, and it's really going to be the test come playoff time. With the especially the defensive liners. I agree with you, Chris. I want to see Arbor play game one of the playoffs. I don't want to see a repeat like last season where he came in game three. Uh, I don't know. I don't think we'll be facing the Washington Capitals. I'm not saying it's safe to say that, but close to. I don't have the standings here in front of me just yet, but
I've got them.
the,
I got you
if you
covered. I
could
got you
check them,
covered.
but no, I agree with you, and I want to see a game of it's tough. Hockey's a game of mistakes, but if Arbor can reduce those chances, and I think that's when he's going to get his chance to stay in the lineup. But let's speak about a guy who was taken out of the lineup tonight. It's obviously no secret at this point, and like Chris said, we released an episode earlier today. This is probably the first time we're releasing two episodes in the same day, in a span of not even like what, not even 8 hours or so. Eat Zeppelis. It's good. It's good for your heart. That's true. Sprinkle some fucking Nutella on them, man. It's even better. But if you guys want to check it out, if you haven't yet, you could hear our thoughts about Brendan Gallagher being a healthy scratch that we released earlier today. I at the end of the day, listen, would Brendan Gallagher have changed the outcome of tonight's game against the Sharks? It's obviously tough to tell. We'll never know because he wasn't there to make it happen. I don't know if his play on the ice would have changed anything, to be 100% honest with you, because I actually thought Texier looked good on that line until, unfortunately, San Jose started opening up the floodgates a bit. But I think they missed his voice. I think the team missed his voice in the locker room, not his singing voice. Not that,
I was just about to say, just put a microphone, just put a two-way microphone so that they can communicate if that's the
I,
case.
I think they missed his presence in the sense that he could deliver his voice and like just talking to the guys, whether it's to encourage them, whether it's giving them a bit of a wake up call, whether it's to calm them down. he is the leader of this team, and I think I think out of between him, Suzuki, and even Mike Matheson, he's probably the most vocal one. I'd like to
Oh yeah.
think. When Caulfield says the guys rally behind him, Jake Evans says that too. I think that's what they missed tonight. Now, again, I don't know if it would have changed the outcome of the game. Somebody has to fill the Galley's shoes for sure. I don't think anybody was able to tonight. I personally don't. Like I said, the effort was there. It was there in the wrong places, and guys were just unsure of themselves, like we mentioned earlier. But I think that's what they were missing tonight. I think they were missing his presence just to rally the troops a little bit. And you know what you're going to get on the ice from him. You know you're going to get 110% effort. Whether it would work or not, like I said, we never know. Maybe it could have. Maybe it wouldn't have. But yeah, I'll say this one last time. I think it's more his presence and voice was missing to rally the troops tonight.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Sam. I mean, he's just been a staple of
It's true.
the locker room and this organization for so long. Like he just knows how it works. And we said it about Sidney Crosby in the Olympics.
Well, exactly. Like,
Sit
and it's not to
sit the man on the bench. Exactly.
it's
You
not to
can't compare Sidney
I'm not
Crosby and Brendan
comparing the
Gallagher, but
two,
it's
but
just
I'm
like
the leadership presence of that team. Dude, 1,000%. And I want to say that, but I was afraid of making comparisons. So I'm glad you did. So, like, if darts are thrown, they're going to be at you and not me. No, but 1,000%, 1,000%. And we had mentioned how the power play wasn't clicking tonight earlier, but yes.
okay. Two things then, Sam.
Mm-hmm,
Just on
mm-hmm,
that note,
mm-hmm.
I like the second power play unit more without Brendan
They
Gallagher.
were.
They were
Well,
pretty damn good.
why isn't Texier on the power play? Was he on? I don't remember seeing Texier on the second power play.
Texier was on the second power play, but the big
Okay,
thing is that Kapanen was there too. So it was Kapanen, Texier, Bolduc, Kirby
mm-hmm.
Dach, and Noah Dobson.
Okay.
So just to say, but that's
Okay.
one.
Yeah,
Like the power play, we
the
can
second
just
power play did look the second power play unit did look better. Yes,
well,
I agree.
it goes back to what we said earlier in the episode. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's synonymous with Kirby Dach having a very strong presence on the ice. But again, not to forget the point that I absolutely wanted to add.
Mm-hmm.
This is, and I'm gonna quote Max Lapierre. I kind of said it earlier in this afternoon's episode,
Yeah.
but this is the passing of the torch. This is day one of saying we're turning the page and we're going into compete mode, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that means that, Brendan Gallagher might not always be there. We know that he's not always going to be there. And this was kind of in a certain sense, a big statement to say, oh, ça commence. It's
Yeah.
starting. So the passing of the torch, like, don't get me wrong. Think of it right now. Galley's got the torch. He's holding it. Maybe you got somebody else who's grabbing a hold of it. Galley's still got a hand on it.
Yeah.
But sooner rather than later, that hand's going to come off. And
Uh.
you're going back to the comment. You're
Mhm.
going to need not just one, it's going to be by committee. You're going to need guys to fill that presence and that leadership role.
Chris, call me crazy. I think the guy to fill in those shoes. I don't know if he's going to score 30 goals like Brendan Gallagher has, but I think the guy that could potentially have that heart and soul feel, grinding it out day in and day out. I don't know why I keep thinking of Florian Jacki.
I have no doubt.
It's just a feeling, man. It's a feeling I'm getting. Just guy that brings the energy, the guy that has fun coming to the game, guy that's going to carry himself like a true pro. I just get the feeling Florian Jacki. I get the feeling just the where he comes from, like from his family. If we know Simona Jacki, how she is, how the family is, I just get the sense it could be him. And I could be totally wrong. I'm just going with gut feel here, personal gut feeling. I get the sense I get the sense maybe Florian could be that guy to fill in those shoes.
I'm so happy that you said that. It only feeds more more to the argument of the importance of Arbor.
Right.
But like I like what you just said because the big thing is that like what was Brendan Gallagher's specialty? Brendan Gallagher's specialty was dragging everybody into the game. And I don't think there's going to be any like don't get me wrong, the energy
Through
of a Cole
through through
Caulfield
through his play, through like yeah.
that's it. Like Florian Jacki is going to be the guy that's really going to get the team like too late. You're in it now. Everybody, we're in it. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
No, and I do think that he can pot a high number. Like I do think that he can be a 15 to 20 goal scorer regularly in
Yeah,
this league.
maybe.
He might,
Yeah,
like you said,
maybe.
he might not score as much, but I do think for the long run, he's going to be an even better physical presence. I think he's going to knock the big thing with Brendan Gallagher and why we say heart of a lion and
Yeah.
it's going to be a big. It's because Brendan Gallagher was constantly the story of David and Goliath,
Yeah.
how he
Exactly. Yeah.
always had to fight upwards. He always had to then that was such that like it took such courage. But what's interesting in what you're saying, Florian Jacki is going to drag the guys into the
He's
fight,
doing
but
he's
he's going
kind
to
of doing
beat
that in
the
Laval,
shit out of
like this
everybody.
comment.
He's going to
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
that's it. He's gonna the difference between him and Gallagher is he's gonna lay such a beat down and wear out the opposing team that it's just like, oh my god. I will say this much too,
Hmm.
and we've discussed it in other episodes. Why I say it by committee, Florian Jacka is going to be the guy who's going to drag the team into the
Hmm.
battle.
Hmm.
Cole Caulfield, in my opinion, is going to be the guy that's going to undertake the responsibility of that lively energy in the locker room.
Right. Yes.
And then
Yes. Yes.
I think that that heart of a lion is going to be bestowed on a guy like Lane Hudson. And that's why I'm saying
Oh,
it's going to have
a
to be by
thousand.
committee.
Oh, 1,000%. No, dude, you hit the nail on the head. Um, just a couple of tweet updates that I saw. So apparently Igor Chernyshov joined his team, and he's gonna fly with the team to Ottawa. So he's with them. So that's good news.
Great
And
news.
then oh my god, I fuck, I had the tweet right here with. Oh man, I had a tweet here about Josh Anderson saying how it was really tough for him to see a guy like Brendan Gallagher be a healthy scratch. To the point where like I don't think he was emotional, but close to. I had it right in front of me and I accidentally clicked the load button on Twitter, and then like you lose the tweet that you have to scroll all the way back down just to fucking get it. Um, but anyways, yeah, it just goes to show what this. Okay. Now Patrick Friolet said, "Here, I got it. Josh Anderson emotional on Brendan Gallagher being scratched tonight," and he quoted, "It's really hard. The guy bleeds the logo. What he means to our group on and off the ice. We all love the guy. We know what he brings to the team. It's hard." Um, and then another tweet too on Marty about the second and third goal. Two of their goals, they were shots from the blue line. Whether you play zone or man to man, you have to block those shots. Either being in the shooting lane, so on and so forth. So, Lane Hudson, we cannot let them in and do kind of whatever they want. We didn't make it hard enough on them. They definitely felt comfortable having the puck on their stick. Yeah. Yep.
Well said.
That's it.
Well said.
Uh, who gets the net tomorrow against the Ducks?
Jacob Fowler.
This. So, Chris, we're gonna end this episode on this. But if Jacob Fowler, double glat, need a double glat, or Doug, yeah, Doug Glatt, yeah. I read double glat, but yeah, we need a Doug Glatt to block those shots. Chris, if I'm willing to bet every dollar I have remaining in the bank that it's Jacob Fowler that's going to get the net tomorrow. And then after that, if he wins
The same
with
way that he did last game, as an
against
example.
Ottawa, yeah, that's a very good example. I think he gets a start Tuesday against the Boston Bruins. And if the same thing happens, I think he gets a start against the Red Wings on Thursday. And then I think they're going to have another back to back after that. So they're obviously going to split duties. But I think now, no, there's no back to back. Not next weekend. But I think it's going to be coming down to who's going to be the hotter goalie now. And I know we discussed this in the past between Dobesh and Sam Montembeault, but now that we kind of know where that's heading, if Jacob Fowler wins tomorrow against the Ducks, you got to put him Tuesday against the Bruins. He's a peacock. You got to let him fly if he wins tomorrow. 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
My opinion, or the opinion of everybody, it seems.
Well, Sam, I'm so happy you said it the way that you did. Jacob Fowler tomorrow, if he wins, goes to Boston or play. No, we're actually playing here in Montreal, but play him against Boston. If he wins, you play him against Detroit. This is
The two biggest games of the year.
this is the week. No, but
Yeah.
this is Jacob Fowler. Like I'm actually I opened up the schedule. So we got Boston, Detroit, the New York Islanders.
Mm-hmm.
Then we play Carolina.
Yeah.
Best
And then
in the East, and Columbus
Columbus.
following week. All I'm gonna say is this should be Jacob Fowler's week to at least
Yeah.
have the opportunity to make his case as the starting goaltender for the playoffs.
Yeah. I totally agree. And my God, Chris, I mean, I know the Islanders are not in our same division, and neither are the Hurricanes, and look, neither are the Columbus Blue Jackets, but all of those teams are trying to secure spots. Carolina, I mean, I think they're at 90 points. I think they're I want to say 3-4 wins away to potentially
Clinching.
no, I don't know if they're going to clinch, but they're not far off. They're already at the 90-point mark, so they're getting a lot closer. Dude, yes, the game against the Ducks tomorrow is extremely important because I mean, who's playing tomorrow? Ottawa's playing tomorrow. The only ones that are trying to fight for a spot. So you got Ottawa that's playing tomorrow. There's us, Toronto, and that's it. Florida, forget it. And then Monday, Detroit and Boston are playing their games. And then after that, we're gonna be facing them. Like these next 3 games are crucial. They need these points and they need them badly.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
it's gonna be
even against Columbus too next week. Or the week after. Sorry. Yeah. I keep thinking we're this week, but yeah.
Well, we got an interesting, like, the whole schedule, just to give an idea. So it's like you said, Boston, Detroit, New York Islanders, Carolina, Columbus, Nashville, Carolina again.
Yeah.
Then we go 31st of March is going to be Tampa.
Oh my God, that's going to be another one. Oh
And
my God.
then we got,
because that's a potential first round matchup.
well, guess what? We also see them. Not only do we see them on the 31st, but we also see them on the 9th of April, which is the 4th last game. So,
we're going live tomorrow post game show, boys.
Yeah.
And we might have a Zook ready to join us too. So we're gonna try to rally some more of the Curfew boys. No, these games are important, fellas. These games that like important, and I'm expecting a much better performance tomorrow by the boys. I'm expecting Brendan Gallagher to rally the troops. I'm expecting Jacob Fowler in net. And then we'll go from
What
there.
would you do if it was Sam Montembeault?
I'd be shocked.
Yeah.
And listen, there's no point in the general narrative reaction would be to get very upset with that decision, and I don't blame. I got my own heart and my own blood pressure to look after. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm only speaking for myself. There's nothing I could do about it. I'm definitely going to pray to the hockey gods. Definitely will. And we'll go from there. But I'll be shocked. I'll have my jaw to the floor shocked. Because that's where we're at right now. That's where we're at. We mentioned it in the previous episode with the acquisition of Hunter Shepard, or if that's his name. I know Shepard is his family name. The goalie that they acquired for Laval, to me, means Jacob Fowler is not going back to the Laval Rocket. Therefore, he's got to play. Therefore, he's got to play tomorrow. So, speaking of the Laval Rocket, comeback win in shootout against Syracuse. And for those wondering what's going on with Michael Hage, well, he beat Gavin McKenna and Penn State, and they're off to the Big Ten final. Bless you.
2 goals. 2 goals from Hage.
2 or 1? I know he got 1.
2.
You got 2?
Yeah. Inside joke, sorry. He did get 2 goals.
Oh, yes, yeah, that 2, yes, from our dear uncle. Okay, interesting. Well, anyways, all that to say is McKenna and Michigan are going to the Big Ten finals, and I'm going to try to find out when that is.
Hage in Michigan. You said McKenna in Michigan, but Hage,
sorry. They beat McKenna and Penn State. And let's try to find out. I believe it's going to be on Saturday. Oh, they're playing Ohio State. Jacob Fowler's team from back in the college days. So Saturday, March 21st, which is next Saturday, which is going to be the Hudson St. Patrick's Day parade as well, and the Canadiens game. It's going to be a big game. Hage was unreal today, all part of the plan. Yeah, they're going. He's going to the Big Ten finals, and then chances are after that he's going to the Frozen Four. So we're not going to be seeing Michael Hage anytime soon, and it's a good thing if we want him to succeed and develop and get better and get ready for the pros. So lots of good things coming down the pipeline for this team. It's all a matter of time, but just like the boys tonight, we got to get past this game. Forget about it. Move on. Get ready for tomorrow, boys and girls. I'm ready for tomorrow, man. I'm going to be prepping all day mentally to sit on the couch, watch the game, and and prep for another post-game show.
Armchair Commander. Who wrote that? Armchair? Our bold Armchair Commander. I'm locking into that position.
I love it. Listen, if there's anybody that has any last second questions for us, send them through. But yeah, man, look at some out of town scoreboard. I think Tampa Bay lost. Buffalo beat Toronto in the shootout. Tampa Bay lost to Carolina. Islanders won against Calgary. Columbus, man, they're making a fight. They won in shootout against Philly, and Detroit lost in OT against Dallas. So this is why, man, teams are going to be fighting for this spot. I got the brisket and the smoker ready for the game. Nice.
Yeah, well, we just need the address so that we can come and get some. But yeah, sure. No, self invitations.
That's no problem. We're just there for the food, nothing else. All right. I guess we could call it a wrap, Chris. It's getting late.
There are no questions, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Really
it's been
appreciate
a pleasure.
it.
Unfortunately, not the result that we wanted, but look, better luck tomorrow. The boys are going to be dialed in, and we will be there for a post-game show. Right, Sam?
Oh, I can't wait. I'm already pumped. But and I hope to see you all there. We hope to see you all there. We thank you so much for tuning in. Like Chris said, please click like and subscribe to our podcast. Help us reach our goal at 5,000 subscribers, believe it or not. Slowly but surely. It would greatly mean the world to us, or we'd greatly appreciate it. It would mean the world to us. Share this with your fellow Montreal Canadiens friends and fans near and far. All of our episodes available on audio platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And a very, very big thank you. Hope you guys are ready for the flight to Edmonton. Jeez, damn. We'll make our way to Edmonton. No problem at all. I've always wanted to visit Edmonton. Why? Don't ask why. But a big thank you to our sponsors, Les Délices Lafrenière, Mike's Barbecue Rub, and Sunil at Habs Cave. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see if Arbor Jacki plays tomorrow. We'll see if Jacob Fowler plays tomorrow as well. Go Habs, go. We face Anaheim Ducks team without that idiot Rocco Gudas. See you all tomorrow's post-game show. Until then, bye now. Good night.